Alrighty, as promised, we're going to be doing a push button start. So essentially what you will have to do is you will have to delete your whole ignition lock assembly. You have to take all of it out, just unbolt it. Completely done. You have to get the key to turn. There's no way around that in order to disable it. So if your ignition tumbler is seized up, then you will have to drill that out, or either get a lot of force on there with a screwdriver or something, but sometimes welding some stuff on it works. But anyway, yeah, so essentially you basically have this. It's your old ignition switch. Okay. And it essentially just jumps all these things together. But as you can see, there was a little cover on it. So under the cover is all the wires. This is the first step to getting your system done. Sorry, there's a little tape on that one still, but they're all like this. They are female. Or, yeah, female. So what I went ahead and did, I went to the auto parts store. It cost me like $3. I went ahead and got these little bullet terminals. So it's almost like the factory plug. So you can just literally bloop it in. So essentially how it goes, I'll try and show you. You just plug it in. Wow, this screen sucks. I'm sorry guys. But anyhow, yeah, so male, female, yeah. So those are pretty much there's like 5 or 6 wires. So on this diagram, I'm gonna put a link in the description so you guys can order your guys' own, and the remote is going to change to look like this. And yes, you can get a key for it. And then I don't know if you can see right here, there's actually a little screw so you could hold the key down in place. So there's a little screw right there. So essentially there's that, the remote start. Anyway, so this is the wiring diagram I have. The easiest way to pretty much read this is, so there's 2 plugs. There's this one and there's this one. One's a 6-port plug, one's a 10-port plug. The 6 ports, all of them, they're all labeled, and one of them says like brown wire, output to ignition 2, yellow wire, output to starter, blue wire, accessory, ground, power for red, white, output to ignition 1. So basically what I did is I went and kind of wrote these down, so now it looks like this. So the brown plugs for the ignition 2, yellow plug starter, blue accessory, black ground, red 12, white ignition 1. So pretty easy for that. Then you gotta go where I got these ones. It could be different for your make and model, but for my car wiring diagram, I went to the d12volt.com, and this is what I could come up with. So they have a couple different options depending on like what part of the United States it was from, or country. But essentially is red's power, always gonna be power pretty much no matter what. Purple, white, or purple, it's going to be the starter. So let's see what that looks like. Looks like there's a solid purple. So if it was like purple with a white stripe, then that would be the purple white. Okay. And then red, pink/red or red-black is ignition. So pink/red. It's ignition, okay. Then we got pink/green for accessory. Oh, pink or green. No, or pink/green. No, this should be pink/green. So it's this one. Pink/green. Okay, that's this wire. And then black and red should be the brake switch. I don't know which one's black and red. You know, they're possibly talking about the actual switch. So it might be, let's take a look down here. There we go. Pink/red. So this is the brake switch. Luckily for me, I'm replacing the remote start. So I already have this spliced in with another wire. I'm just gonna have to put a little connector on and connect it. But yeah. And then essentially for that, it comes down to the 10-port plug. So this is for if you want to hook up accessories, and you do not have to use these wires. If you do not use these wires, you just ground them out. So essentially they have a trunk output, so if you want to pop your trunk off of this little remote, so it's like pushing two buttons down at the same time or something like that. They have the left flasher, right flasher. That's for the actual, that's for the remote system, the remote start, so you can have the left and the right blinker, you know, on when the car's on. That way you know your car's running. Pink is the siren. The door trigger input is the lock the doors, of course, for the blue. Or actually, sorry, white and black, and then white is lock, unlock. The door trigger input, I believe that is for a sensor to where if you unlock the door, it's not on all models, but if you unlock the door, it has something on the dash for kind of security purposes. But yeah, and then brown black for brake wire. So yeah, that's for the brake light. So essentially, yeah, what I could do is I could just kind of plug these all up real fast for you guys, and then connect the battery and see if it starts. Just kind of proof of concept. Yeah. Let's see here. Alright guys, so it finally works. Test remote start capabilities. She runs. She lives. She lives. Alright, so basically some of the problems you've had to go through with this is the brake wire. So in this module it comes with two options for brake wire. So one connects to the handbrake. So if you have a handbrake right here, you have to connect to the wire to make sure the handbrake's on if you have a manual. Okay? The second one's the actual brake wire. or sorry, not the brake wire, the actual oil pressure sensor wire. And that detects oil pressure sensor, but in my case, I trust my vehicle, so I'm hooking mine directly up to power. So it'll have power to the signal wire. You can choose to do what you wish, but essentially it works. Works good. Yeah. Hopefully it helped some of you guys out, and wasn't that bad. If I really have to think about it, it was 1 wire, 2 wire, 3 wire, 4 wire, 5 wire, 6 wire, 7 wire, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 total wires pretty much had to be connected up. 6 of which had to just be kind of crimped on with some bullet plugs, and the rest of them just kind of hooked up to ground or the signal. So yeah.